Hi everyone, I'm Megas and I make ChipNomad, a chiptune tracker for handheld consoles such as this TrimUI Brick or this Anbernic RG35xx. This is a little devlog video. I wanted to demonstrate the new features that I recently built. So they're not yet officially released, but if you join the Discord community, then you can already try this new build where all these features are implemented. So I want to start with the modulation system. If you use the MA tracker, then you're already familiar with this. So you have 4 modulation sources that can be of ADSR, it's attack, decay, sustain, release, HD, attack, hold, decay, or LFO type. So you have different destinations for these modulations. You can control the amount. There are multiple shapes for LFO, like triangle, sine, ramp down, ramp up, exponential down, exponential up, square, and random. Different trigger modes, different speeds, so yeah, pretty familiar. So in addition to tables, now you can also use these modulation sources to modify a sound. And so I prepared little demos for all new features, so let me show them to you. So here, okay, let me play it. And let me play with some parameters of the modulation. So that was a little demonstration of this, so kind of acid-like sounds on AY chip. And so I also introduced a new instrument type called AI+. So it is structured more like a synthesizer. So now you can think of AY chip as and each voice of the AI chip as kind of collection of oscillators. You have the tone oscillator, which generates your square waves. You have your noise oscillator, which is not really per voice, so it's really actually per chip, but yeah, you can turn it on and off. You can control its period. There's also this envelope generator. So I don't want to dive too deep right now into all the details how these things work, so this is not the purpose of this video. And the new thing that I'm building, the main thing that I'm building, are software oscillators. If you start to modify AY registers at rates higher than the frame rate, like more frequently than 50 Hz, then you can get really interesting sounds. And like a very obvious choice for the first sound are going to be samples. So now you can play samples in ChipNomad. Yeah, samples. You can load different samples. You can control sample length, make it shorter. Yeah. You can also have a loop. Yeah, so the loop preview is a little bit broken, but yeah, so I'll fix it. You can also control tuning. Yeah, pretty much all the common controls for sample playback. What's more interesting is that you can combine them with tone and even noise oscillators. Yeah, the sounds can be like pretty weird, but why not? Okay, let me turn. You can feel free to experiment with it, so I'm pretty much sure that people can come up with very interesting sounds out of it. Yeah, so another demonstration of samples, some Anbernic, and also a demonstration that you can control the sample start for this nice thing at the end. Again, also control the sample pitch. Okay, so let's move on. The next software oscillator type I want to demonstrate is sync envelope. So what it basically does is kind of restarts this envelope phase with a given period, and you can create some interesting effects here. So here the envelope pitch is modulated with an ADSR envelope. Okay, so there are more parameters, and I will demonstrate them later as well. So let's move on. Yeah, you can also have this kind of classic hard sync effect on the tone. So this sync tone. Okay, so let's move on. So this is not a proper instruction video, so this is just a quick demonstration of new features. So we have wavetables, as you can see. Yeah, so by the way, so the wavetable is right now modulated with a square LFO. So let me just remove it so you can hear the... Okay, and you can edit these wavetables. So if you go on the screen that is under the table screen, now here you have the wavetable editor. Yep. So you can load and save wavetables. Yeah. So let's move on. So this is another demonstration of a sync envelope sound, and here it is tweaked into a way that it imitates the volume control for the envelopes, which, if you know AY chip, you can't control a volume of an envelope. But here, with the clever modulation of the envelope pitch, you can actually simulate like the saw wave sound that is fading out. Yeah, so this is now possible with this sync envelope. What's next? Okay, so this is what they call SID Sound on Atari ST. So this is kind of the ring modulation between a tone and another square wave that is software generated, which is pulse. Okay, so you can do quite a lot of things with pulse. So first of all, you have the pulse width control. Okay, then you have frequency modulation depth. I won't go into too many details how that works, and it's not like a true FM modulation like on Yamaha FM chips, but it is some kind of a frequency modulation. So some nice sounds. Okay. Okay, that was the pulse. And here we can have this classic booth pulse width modulation using the pulse, tone is off, and we have an LFO that modulates the pulse width. So the next sound I want to show is for this tone frequency modulation. So that's another type of a software oscillator. And here, by using different pitches for the tone and the tone FM, you can kind of emulate the frequency ratios in the classic FM synthesis. I wanted to show pretty crazy sounds you can make with the sync envelope. So here we have an ramp down LFO that triggers only once to the pulse width modulation of this sync envelope. So it gives this initial transient sound, and then we also have a free running LFO, triangle wave LFO on the same pulse width, so I can have like two modulations on the same parameter, so which gives us this nice evolving sound, so it changes over time and it's not synced to a tempo, yeah, so that can be very nice. And let me play with some parameters, because things can get really crazy. Did you think that AY can make this kind of sounds? What's technically happening here is I'm just quickly modulating between two different envelope shapes. So you can see them here. It's D and A, and yeah. Yeah, so I can play with the sound like for a very long time, because I really like what you can make with it. This is it. So this is a demonstration of the new sounds you can make with ChipNomad, and you can download the build in the Discord server. You can find the link in the video description. Yeah, so please welcome to the community, try this new build. It's not super stable yet. Well, so it's probably stable, but it's not really polished yet, so I'm working on that now. But I really wanted to show you all what I've done. Thanks, see you next time.